Good morning, everyone. How is everyone on this beautiful Saturday morning? Man, the weather's nice here this morning. It's a little cold, but the sun is shining, and that is always a great thing to see. Any day above ground is a great day to me. I'm a poet and didn't even know it. Didn't even mean for those to rhyme, but yes, it should warm up today. It's a little chilly this morning, but when I say a little chilly, I actually only mean it's 40 degrees, 42 degrees, sorry. Forecast shows it's supposed to get up to the 60s today, so that is good when the sun is shining. I just had a Reddit alert for some kind of knives. Let's see. Jufull Radial Rosie. A Jack Wolf Bionic Jack. A Brass Brigade Gripper. A McNeese Mac 2 3.5. And I guess a Death Grip 940 contoured tie with Lynch TI clip. That's a pretty good price on that. $150 for a 940. Oh, it's just the scales and a clip, maybe? No, maybe it's the whole knife. Good morning, Ed, B. Shady, Scott. Keep it scale stupid. Yep, it's just the scales. All right, it's not a good deal. How are y'all this morning? How is everyone doing? I am doing great this morning. I am alive, and that is good in my book. Doesn't take much more than that to make me happy. I did get a knife in the mailbox yesterday, so that made me happy as well. I think a few of you might have been expecting knives yesterday as well. Did anyone else get any cool new knives yesterday? I carried a couple of cool knives to work last night. I carried my two of my newest ones, if not my newest ones. I had this in my front pocket, and the sunlight really brightens this thing up. Headache, knife maintenance, and making Edyards. Yep, that sounds pretty standard. And then in my back pocket, I had my Protect. Sucks you got a headache. Constantly having a headache would have to just be terrible. My sister, before she passed, she used to have migraines all the time, and they were pretty bad. Sunlight, any kind of light would trigger it, and all kinds of stuff. Good morning, Pete. So I'd say I had a pretty deep pockets last night as far as firepower. I had some good knives. Both of them had buttons on them. One of them auto, one of them manual. Before I went to work, I took and I rubbed some of the 1000 grit diamond paste onto this side of my strap. And this morning, I rubbed some 8000 on the leather side. I'm letting it dry at the moment. And then there's whatever 8000 was left over, I rubbed over here because it ain't going to hurt nothing. But letting that dry up, so I stropped both the knives good with the 1000 before I took them to work last night, and they were very sharp. So that was good. I'm hoping maybe we get a special guest this morning. Haven't heard from him since he said he could hop on, but I just sent him the link, so we'll see if he hops on eventually. So yeah, he said he'll be here in a few, so that's cool. I did have some topics to talk about. I wanted to talk about this tariff talk and how it's kind of getting out of hand and ridiculous in some people, and they're doing a lot of fear mongering with it right now. And I don't think people realize what's actually going on with it, because in reality, it is all just a strong arm political move. And it's not, there's no way it can stay. Good morning, Sever7. Stay in effect and stay as high as it supposedly is, blah, blah, blah. Just like right after Trump said a couple of days ago, he was going to raise it to 125%. He said, but we're going to suspend that and leave it at 10% for right now. And then he bumped it up again and blah, blah, blah. People don't realize that if these tariffs were to stay at this crazy rate, it would literally be the end of society. I mean, I would like to look up the percentage of things made in China in a Walmart. And if prices doubled or went up 2.5 times, that just can't happen. So it's all just a political strong arm play. They'll get it worked out soon. It won't last forever. And I think people jumping on, putting out videos, I mean, anyone that owns a business, yes, you need to hope for the best and prepare for the worst. But I don't think long term they realize that it can't stay, because it's just not economically feasible. And it would collapse the US dollar and all kinds of things. So the whole world as a whole doesn't want all that to happen. They're just using it as a strong arm way of pressure to get some talks to happen, and then it'll go back to something reasonable. So don't freak out. Don't think a $75 knife is going to turn into a $168 knife. So yeah, just calm down. Good morning, Doc Seuss. Knives are life. Just let it play out. I just ordered 2 new things from distributors, from my watch guy in China, and his prices, he's not worried, so his prices didn't go up any. They'll get it figured out, and there may be a 10 to 20% increase in cost, but we've been getting stuff pretty cheap from China, so 10 or 20% is not going to break us. 200% would. So they're not going to let that happen in the long run. Sever7, I'm glad you're here early, because I had I'm glad you're here early because I had some knives to show you, and I was going to wait until you popped in to show them. So you got the Eclipse in, huh? How is it? Is it good? Anyway, enough tariff talk. It'll settle down and be okay. Just give it a few weeks, if not a month. Oh yeah, while Sever's telling us how that knife is, I will show y'all what I had in the mailbox yesterday. If I can find it. What the hell did... Now, how did that box just disappear? What in Hades? It's a big box. I think I put it over here. Here it is. It is a Berg Blades box. You really like it? Still Addicted recommended it. Yeah, Doc. Doc Seuss, this is the one that we dyed the other day on the stream. It started out as a red Kaiser, and now it's got a blue leather dye on it. But the Scout Carry is nice. I had it on yesterday for a while. Yeah, we'll take a look at it in pictures here in a minute, Sever. Well, actually, let me finish showing what I got in the mailbox yesterday, and then we'll get into that. So I got a Berg Blades box, and this is it. This is OEM'd by We. This is the Iron Pup, and this is the satin version with the hollow grind and fingerprints, and bronzed anodized titanium with blue hardware. Super cool knife that we OEM'd. Brand new, hasn't been used for anything, has no marks on it whatsoever. Super cool little knife. It is too little for me, so I think I will be selling it right away. Passing on to somebody who will get use out of it. I get 3.5, and when 3.5 fit on there, it kind of just makes me mad. Most people could probably get 4 on it. Me, I can't. So, that's what I got yesterday in the mailbox. Actually, might as well leave it out. I put up everything on the table this morning, so we'll leave it sitting over here. Now, let's go look at that Eclipse. Bring up the browser, and then I'll show Sever some links to some knives I think he might like. You might all like them. Yeah, we've looked at it before. It's highlighted for sure, so let's check it out again. 3.31 inch blade, M390. Super cool lines on it. It's clean. What does it look like actually closed? There's how much sticks out. That's a little bit of a size. Let's see. Of course, they don't show a picture of the back of it. Oh, yeah, they do. There we go. Oh, somebody joined Skype, I believe. I think we have our special guest in the house. I can't hear you, sir. Can you hear me? I think I'm getting a little bit of echo. Do you have a speaker on somewhere that's playing the video? Oh, okay. Well, give me just a minute and I'll bring you in a minute when I'm done talking about the Eclipse and showing a few links. All right, cool. So, let's see. Where was I? Oh, yeah, the back looks super cool. How heavy is it, Sever? Is it, you got the weight on here? Let's see. 4.27 ounces. It's not too bad. It was only 200 on White Mountain Knives. Yeah, that's a good price. Kubi website is always super high. Let's go check out White Mountain Knives real quick and see what which models they have and what the price is. I guess I should have typed. Oh, sold out. Did you they're all sold out now, huh? Well, that's cool. You must have ordered it at the right time. I'm going to put in my email address real quick just to get notified if they get some more back in. Nice. So you just got the plain tie one? Oh, good morning, Mrs. TC Blades. It's cool to know that you like knives also. I heard you in the video with Jed. And good morning, Fred. Yeah, I heard you in the background in the video with Jed talking about knives, and it sounded like you knew your knives too. Have fun at the ball field this morning. Bob Deal for KB's website. Bob Deal. Aha! So they were sold out when you first got them too, huh? Sever 7. That's cool. I wanted to show a couple of links really quick. Bear with me for just a couple more minutes. Mr. Surprise Guest. Haven't even said who it is yet. It's pretty funny. Let's see. I've got some links here somewhere. Stuff for channel. All right. This was one I thought, Sever 7, that you might like. This is a Lemifshi original, and it's kind of in your style this week. It's M390. It's one of his original designs, I do believe. If it's not, someone let me know. But I thought you might dig that design for $130. There's Mr. Drummer. Yep, I thought that might have been your style, sir. So I ran across that. Of course, anybody could like it. I like it. But it's got those lines that Sever's been going after this week, so I thought of him. Next, I had, let's see, this one, which is another version of it's his JR 9610. Kind of along the same lines with a little bit of decorations on it. A little bit of Damascus, thumb studs. You can see them from the top there. Clip and insert. It's another one with clean lines. I'm not sure that one's as great as the first one, but it's still a pretty cool looking little knife. $153. Let's see what else I had. Oh, then I found this. Pete reminded me of Pete. So this is a cool little Efengro EF4 for $20. That is a pocket tool EDC. It says with bottle opener. I don't know. Aha. So the blade slides out or flips out, slides out, and it's got a bottle opener, an S35 VN blade steel. So that was something different that I ran across. I hadn't seen. I'm not sure exactly how this thing works. Looks like it slides out, but does it slide out all the way and then you flip it over? It's got a blade, or I don't know. I'll post these links in the description when I'm done. And then this was a Max Ace that I ran across. The Black Mirror. They offered it in a couple of different versions. Cool little knife. I was browsing for some non-clone knives on AliExpress, and this is what I ran across. This was a weird little SRM EDC tool. And if you see the end of it, it looks very blunt. It doesn't really have a tip. It's kind of a weird little thing. Whoops. It's got a wrench on one side. It's got like a kind of like a pry tool. You couldn't break that tip off for sure. Looks like somebody already did. But that was a cool little SRM tool, and they had a plain one, and then they had a couple that had like, looks like brass kind of inserts. So that was another one. Let's see. Then this is a TRSKT Necker little fixed blade in a bunch of different styles for $30. I liked this color. It's actually they have that color with like a stonewash blade. Anyway, another little $30 fixed blade I ran across since we were looking at all those yesterday. And they have it in all kinds of styles with all color. I think that's the one. No, one of these. I think it was that one maybe with the stonewash. I need some liquid. Already getting, my voice is already going out. This was another Lemifshi original, JR9710, that I thought Sever might kind of like also. It's got that harpoon blade that he likes. Got a cool blade hole. Some good texturing. Got a blue backspacer. They do have it in black and plain. Another super cool knife. I really like and I like the fact that he's trying to make his own brand, kind of like Megaron did. So his JR knives, JR 9710 or JR whatever, are his original designs. So I wanted to promote that a little bit. And then last but not least, it was a titanium multi-tool that looks pretty beefy and has all kinds of stuff. And it actually includes something I thought was cool, which is some extra bits for the driver and some extra cutting things for the pliers. So wire cutters, you can get it for $50, full titanium, big beefy boys, 6 inches overall when you open it, 4 inches when it's closed. All kinds of tools, drivers. Looks like it's got locks for everything. So yeah, another one. So I'll throw those links in the chat whenever we're done. Ron Dobbins, good morning, sir. You popped in while I was talking. I wasn't paying any attention. Sorry. I was off in browser land. All right, so our special guest is Mr. Drummer. I told him he needed to come on sometime and talk to us about what he's had going on. I've heard him talking about all kinds of stuff as far as logistics and all that, with the shipping affecting him and talking to different OEMs and all that stuff. So I thought we would have him on just to tell us what he's got going on. I don't know. No idea. I haven't asked him. I'll let him, I guess, tell us whatever he wants to and not tell us what he doesn't. But I think maybe, possibly, he's got a knife coming out. I can't.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. They should be able to hear you too now.
Hopefully there is no echo. Let me know if it's bad. I can try
Oh
to
no, nope,
maybe some
it's good.
Bluetooth right now.
Yeah, is there any way you can boost your level just a little?
Let me see.
You're peaking out at about minus 15.
Is that any better?
Oh, yep, there you go. Now you're peaking up
Okay,
at the
cool.
top.
Nice.
So,
Yeah,
so yeah, what do you got going on?
so I've been working on a knife design. Um, I've talked to a few OEMs. First, I talked to Riyadh. I talked to QSP and Kubi. But I'm actually working on a prototype right now with Kubi. They're going to make my design, and I'm going to have them OEM it, and I'm going to sell it under my company, Portage Knife Co. Just started it a couple months ago. And yeah, it's going pretty good. And I'll go ahead and show you what it looks like. I have so far, I have a 3D file. I have some 2D files as well. It all started from a drawing I had on paper, and then Kubi was able to take my drawing and put it into 2D and 3D files. So that's pretty cool.
Okay. Do you realize that right now we can't see anything? Okay. Yeah. There we go.
Let me switch the camera. Yep, there's me.
Yep. Cool.
Let me figure out how to switch it. It's going the wrong way.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's no big deal.
I was just trying to show my screen.
Yeah. I think you go to share screen. Let me see if I can figure it out. Yeah, down at the bottom in Skype, there's a share screen button in the main chat room part. Now I lost sound and everything from him. Now he disappeared.
I'm still here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you go to the main meeting room where it shows me and you side by side in Skype, did you open the link in Discord accidentally, or did you open it in Skype?
I opened it in Teams. Let me.
Oh,
Okay,
in
so
Teams?
I'm going to. Yeah, let me switch to my computer, and hopefully that gets better. Because
Okay.
I'm using it on my phone right now.
Oh,
So let
okay,
me see if I
yeah.
can share my screen from my computer.
All right, yeah, I'm not sure about using it on the phone, so. Yeah, if you need to call back, you're welcome to.
Let me mute the audio. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Technical difficulties, guys, but it's all good. Oh, we're getting echo now.
Yeah, that should fix it.
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Let me know if you see anything. I should be sharing my screen.
Yeah, I do see it, but let me see why it's not coming up on the video. Hold on just a second. Aha, I got it. Hold on just a second. All right, now we're good.
Okay, cool.
Let me hold on, let me make it full screen so we can see it big. Hold on. I don't need to have my camera on here. All right. Nice.
Yeah, so this is a 3D file. It's going to be titanium, scales, and we got some milling pattern on the outside. And what my inspiration was rivets. So kind of like in mining, a lot of old mine cars, they'll use rivets. So that was kind of what I was thinking for this. So I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out.
So are those going to be recessed or are they bumps?
They're recessed, I believe.
Okay.
So let me see if I can rotate.
Yeah, you can kind of tell they're recessed when you zoomed in, but I couldn't tell.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a cool pattern.
And then there's going to be yeah, I like it. So there's going to be a fuller right here and a thumb stud. And one of the most recent changes we did was we added a hollow grind. It was a flat grind before, so I think it's going to work a lot better.
Yeah, Scott just asked if it was a hollow grinder, and yeah, it looks like it.
Yep. And it might be hard to tell from here, but yeah, it definitely is hollow.
I like the lock bar recess or access.
Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to do is make sure you had plenty of room for lock bar, and Kubi kind of made that look good. Added this little step pattern right here, so I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. Got a 3D milled clip.
What is that round thing in the lock bar relief in there? Like, what is that circle?
Oh, this
Yeah.
area. This is for just to give you more access. It's just something that I wanted to have. So this is where I think you'll actually open the lock and release it.
So is that just like a pattern that's just milled into the metal? That
Yep.
circle? And then on the
Hmm.
blade, that's not a hole all the way through. That's just a fuller.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a fuller.
Ron Dobbins said your voice is going in and out, but I think it's just whenever you talk,
Oh,
it
is
picks it up.
it?
I don't know. I think it's voice activated or it's trying to. I think it's okay for now.
Yeah, let me know. I can get rid of the Bluetooth.
Oh, now it just went out. It went really low. Uh, yeah, I'm not hearing you at all now, and it went really low for a second. Yeah, I can't hear anything at the moment from you. Hmm, weird.
Um,
Yep, can't really hear you.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, barely.
Barely. All right, hang on a second.
Oh, it just jumped up. I don't know. And is it a titanium frame lock or is it a liner lock?
It's an inset liner lock, titanium scales, titanium 3D mill clip.
Yeah, you're real low. Yeah, but I think we can hear that. He said it's a inset liner lock, so a nested liner lock, titanium scales. I'm wondering what's up with the microphone. It's probably are you using like earbuds?
It's a Bluetooth, yeah. Maybe it's just having issues.
Yeah, I can. Maybe they can hear you. Is there a front flipper when it's closed?
Right now there's not a front flipper, but that's something I've thought about. We'll have to see, but it's definitely possible. We could maybe do something like that.
Yeah, I think they were just asking questions. And let's see more questions. Oh, do you know what kind of blade steel they're going to use?
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing 14C.
Okay, just to keep the.
So I wanted to make it affordable since this is gonna be my first design, and I don't really know what the demand is gonna be, and I figured that rather than having something be like 300, 250, that if it was around 150 range, that would probably be more affordable for people, and yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay, yeah. I mean, who knows? By the time it actually gets made, prices could come down, and they could use like their one. I don't know, like some other steel. But
Yeah, and it's not set in stone. I think the prototype is going to be D2, but that's just so we can get it made. But yeah, I mean, we could change the steel if things change.
can y'all hear him barely, like I do in my ear, or can you not hear him at all? Yeah, I guess they can hear you because they just said they agree with 14C 28N.
Nice. Okay.
But I'm watching the levels, and I don't know, it's coming in kind of low, but maybe it's okay. I'm wondering if like you got the recording volume set on your computer to like not set it 100%. Like if you go down there to the sound icon and right click on it, oh, it's muted.
It's actually it's actually going through my phone on the Bluetooth,
Oh,
so I'm connected through my computer and my phone.
oh, okay. Wow, doing it all. You got it connected everywhere. Oh,
Yeah.
they said they can hear you fine. It could just be on my end then. Yeah,
Okay.
that's cool. Um,
All right.
so price. So you said who did you check with besides Kubi?
So first I did Riot, and then I also talked to QSP to get a quote from them. Riot was going to be the most expensive. I mean, it was close to $92 roughly per knife, which is quite a bit more expensive than everybody
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
But I mean, the quality's there. But I think with Riot, if I'm going to use 14C, I think it's going to make it too expensive, where people probably wouldn't be interested.
Right. Um, So Fred the Lug just said if you added a front flipper, it would make it something he would buy. I mean, that's just input, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Something to think
Yeah,
about.
and I don't think it wouldn't affect the look of it when it's open. So it would just only affect it when it was closed. Just add some at the top there.
Yep.
But you might check out doing some
Yeah, we might just have
renders of that also.
Yeah, we could probably pull back this chamfer right here, and maybe that would give it front flip capability.
Right, right.
Yeah, it's a good idea though.
Yeah, people like multiple deployment methods, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I like how you do have reversible clip place on it. Looks like.
Yep.
And I like the pivot design.
Yeah, I gotta give us thanks to Pete on that. He actually did the pivot for me, so I appreciate that. Yeah, it turned out
Do
really
you,
good.
do you have any renders of what it looks like closed?
I'll have to check. I'll check
Okay.
later, and I'll see if I can get some pictures.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they do. They have some, but I have to dig through my email.
All right, cool. Well, I appreciate it. Anything else you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so I'm thinking of maybe a couple different finishes. Probably the first one is going to be stonewash tie, stonewash blade, and I'm going to do purple anodized pivot, filler tab, and screws. And then I was also thinking of doing a black wash with like a mint green anodized. So that's just some of the ideas that I'm thinking of. Because I know some people don't always like black wash, but maybe more people would like the just stonewash tie. So if they wanted to anodize it, they could.
Oh yeah, and what's the blade size?
It's right now it's 2.87 on the blade and 6.7 inches overall.
Okay. Brand new American. This is Drummer talking. I should figure out how to put some text on the screen to let people know whenever I have somebody on. But yeah, this is Drummer.
Yeah, and if you want to follow me, I'm on Instagram. It's Portage Knife Co. All one word.
Portage Knife Co. Yeah, I'll bring that up whenever you get off here. I'll bring up your Instagram. And is the 2.8, is that the cutting edge or is that the whole blade?
That's the whole blade.
Okay, so like 2.5.
So and there's a little bit of there's a little bit of a choil here, so I think that we'll see when I get the prototype, but I think you'll be able to use it as a finger choil. But we'll just see it when I get it.
So probably around 2.5 for the cutting edge, you think?
Yeah.
2.4, 2.5. Cool. Yeah, the finishes sound cool. So you said mint green with the black wash and purple with the stonewash.
Yep.
Cool. You just gonna have silver blade?
So for the black one, I'm probably gonna do black wash for the handles and the blade, and then the purple, I'm just gonna do plain blade, stonewash scales too.
Sever 7. That's probably more of a personal question that you should probably ask him in the Discord or something. I don't want to the guy's trying to make $1 here and there, and they say profit is supposed to be 3x to 4x. So I'm sure if he said it's selling for around 150, he can probably get the cost down to around $50 per unit. And if he said $90 per unit for Riot was high, then you can kind of guess what the prices are going to be. But I don't want him to have to. That's kind of personal and it's a business thing. But he is on the Discord under horror. What is it again? Horror.
Horror Smooth.
Yeah, Horror Smooth Sever 7. So you can hit him up there and talk to him about that stuff. I mean, it's a good question, but I just don't want to broadcast it.
Yes, we talk on Instagram. You can
Yeah, cool. Well, all right. Well, I'm gonna get off here and look at some more stuff and look at your Instagram and so people can follow you and stuff.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, man. Appreciate you coming up. We'll do it again sometime.
Sure.
All right,
Sounds
man.
good.
Later. All right, guys. So that was cool to have Drummer on. I hadn't ever asked him anything about any of his knife making or designing or who he was going to OEM with or any of that stuff. So it was cool to like go in blind and kind of hear it just like y'all did. I kind of picked up that he, had been talking to some OEMs and was kind of worried about, what the tariffs and pricing would if it would affect him, and so that was super cool. I didn't know, and that was awesome to hear. Somebody from the inside is doing it and getting in there. I like the design a lot. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the knife I showed yesterday from that Spark EDC. I wanted to show y'all again. He showed a little bit. I showed you how he showed the render, but he didn't show the actual knife, and he said he had it in hand. So last night I saw that he did post a little short video of him actually showing the knife. And so let me see if I can find that again. Spark EDC. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find it by that. I put a bookmark. Okay, hold on. I know how I can find it. I put a bookmark in here for us to look at it the other day. Hold on just a second. Dang it. Whenever I need a link, I can't find it. When I don't need it, I can find it. Here we go. All right, so I showed y'all the guy's render. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Drummer's design, but not totally, but the blade's different, but kind of the back of it's kind of the same shape. But this was his renderings, and it did have a front flipper on it. So that might give Drummer an idea of kind of what to add to his. But this was the one I showed you that had the fidget gear built in the side of it to kind of fidget with. And let's see. So he actually posted the first time he held it. So little short video of him showing the first prototype. I imagine that knife is probably close to the same size also. He doesn't really play with the gear much in the video. I'm wondering how the bearings are on it. So pause it there. I'm curious what that little switch is behind the gear too. I wonder if that like locks the gear into place to where it doesn't spin. Well, no, because the gear just moved. And the front flipper really did add a good bit to that. So I think that could be close to about the same size. Anyway, it made me think of that. I'm not trying to take anything or steal the light from Drummer because I like his better anyway. Fred, I totally agree with you. And before you got in here, that's exactly what I said. I said we're going to go up 10 to 20% is what we'll eventually see, maybe. Even if they've, and they're using it all for political right now anyway, just to strong arm China, and it'll all settle down. Yeah, it's just crazy. But all this fear mongering that's going on doesn't help anything and freaks people out, and they just need to calm down and realize it's all political tactics, and it's not going to come into play where everything is double the price. It may raise 10 to 20%, but it's not going to be crazy. And we've paid so cheap prices from China, 10 to 20%, is not going to kill us. Because if everything doubled in Walmart, it would crash our crash our U.S. dollar and our society. I mean, they can't let that happen. So let me go show. Let's. I can't remember what he said. Somebody give me a link to his Instagram. Portage. No, I think it's Portage Knife. I think I've already subscribed, maybe, but we'll see here in a second. Oh no, is this it? No, I don't know if that's it or not. Maybe that's not it. Good morning, JD. Yeah, I don't think that's it. Um, is there someone with me? Is that what you're talking about? No. Can you hear somebody with me? Somebody post his Instagram for me. Oh, it's all one word. Uh, aha. Follow back. I should have already followed. There it is. So there's the render of the front of the blade. Nick's already on top of it. And B Shady's already following him. And Pete is as well. And Sever 7. Cool. So y'all go check him out for sure. No, I don't think anybody sneezed. It could be my voice that's cracking. I need some coffee or some water or something. Jeez. I forgot to make coffee this morning and yeah, that sucks. But I did post this Berg Blades in the buy, sell, and trade on my Discord. I also posted it on Blade Binge. The next cheapest one is $225 on Blade Binge. I posted mine for $200, and I posted it for all y'all for $175 in my buy, sell, trade if y'all want it. So that's cool. Knife Picks, brand new American just popped one up. He got him a new chainsaw today. I saw him say that as he came in, but we were kind of in the middle of dealing with drummer coming on. So here's a picture of brand new American's new Husqvarna. Is that a Husqvarna? I can't see. Chainsaw? Yes. A 460 Rancher, big boy. How long's the bar on that thing? Yeah, Ed, I would agree. That's why I'm getting rid of it. Check out the sunlight hitting that knife this morning in the car on the way home. Looks really good in the sunlight. 24-inch bar, nice. Oh, Fred, I think he's talking about the one I'm selling, not Drummer's knife. Possibly, I don't know. No telling with Ed. He could be talking about either one. But I think he was just talking about the knife that I said I posted for sale. This Berg Blades. I think he was saying I need to hit this with the Expando Ray. It's a Berg Blades Iron Pup. And like I said, it's one of those 3.5 finger knives for me. And I hate when that half finger hits on it because I want to put 4, but I can't. I'd rather it just be 3 if it's going to be small. And it's that 3.5 weird place. So I just got it yesterday, but I'm going to let it go to somebody who would enjoy it. Yeah, I think y'all were talking about two different. Yeah, I think I just explained what happened there. to Fred. I think he thought maybe you're talking about drummer's knife and vice versa. Yeah, this Protect's growing on me. Nick was right. They're nice knives. But this one's growing on me more, and I really like how light the spring is on it because I can close it without feeling like it's going to sling out of my hand, and it doesn't want to jump out of my hand when I open it. So I'm liking it too. So that's pretty cool. Let me see if I can, anything new, well, anything in the knife world going on. We could watch a little video and I could start a cup of coffee. Could we watch a video of any type for a couple of minutes while I make coffee? Let's see. Oh, there's a blade show this weekend in Pennsylvania. Here's Kyle Royer. Y'all want to watch a little video? Watch a little video.
$15,000. Because turning raw materials into something meaningful is one of the most
better.
As I was forging, the guard got a little bit of a.
Yeah, let's watch a little bit of his.
Look at that
video while I go start a cup of coffee.
It's now time to add a little portion to the blade.
Let's watch him.
I'll be
working on
putting
it
together
for a minute.
and taking apart this handle many times.
I'm gonna go start a cup of coffee real quick. Y'all watch this for a minute.
Pins inside of the handle is very critical. The handle
if y'all aren't
scales I'm
familiar
using
with
for this
Kyle
Bowie knife
Royer,
build
you should check
are
him
some
out.
beautiful,
Super talented.
dense ebony.
It's kind of chunky, but there's our first look at our frame handle. The next thing we can focus on is the pommel. And right now our pommel is just this big old nasty piece here. I need to knock the scale off this thing and get it surface ground and flattened up, ready to be fit to the knife.
Whenever you're knocking the scale off of something that was forged, it's very important to use kind of a worn out belt. The reason being, the scale's very hard and it could really deteriorate a brand new belt quickly. So it's better to use something that's already kind of worn out.
I'm gonna set this aside for now. We're gonna need this as we fit the pommel nut and make the pommel nut, but we're not quite ready to drill this out yet. Speaking of the pommel nut, the next thing I wanna do is actually go ahead and make our pommel nut. We're gonna turn this thing down and make it look somewhat like the one in the sketch.
Once again, I start by knocking the scale off of what will become our pommel nut. Next, I chuck it up in the lathe and begin turning it down into a nice round cylinder shape. Once that's done, I flip the piece over, chuck it back up into the lathe, and work the other end. This end of the pommel nut will go inside of the handle, so I make this end smaller than the head of the pommel nut. I also drill out the inside of the pommel nut.
All right, coffee's going. Sorry.
Next, I add threads to the pommel nut, so we'll be able to thread it onto the end of the tang, and the pommel nut will hold.
Let me scan through and go through and look at what he does here.
That are similar to the pommel nut.
But if you ever watch his videos, he shows the entire process.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! That's beautiful.
Now, once again, I start by giving myself some good layout lines I can follow, and then begin grinding on the end of the tang.
Oh man, all y'all can do is hear him.
Down
oh my
into
God.
a cylinder shape that's just the right size to fit the threads inside the pommel nut.
I'm an
I also
idiot.
use a torch to anneal the end of the tang, which softens the metal.
Appreciate y'all
making it
sticking
easier
through
to
that.
thread.
I had to start some
Once
coffee.
the tang has fully cooled, I begin
Yeah,
adding
drummer, I
threads
realize
to
that
the
now. I
tang.
apologize. I didn't switch the source when I left. I made sure to unmute the audio, but I didn't.
Oh yeah, that feels pretty good. We're not going to be rounding the corners off, but we are going to really start fine-tuning the shape of the handle and thinning it down. It's really crazy thick right now.
I like to take my time and slowly eat away at the wood when I'm shaping a handle like this. It can be very easy to go in and accidentally grind away way too much of your material, and before you know it, you've got a really skinny, thin handle. I do a lot of the shaping with a 36 grit belt, and that removes materials so quickly that you could make a horrible mistake in the blink of an eye. As I get closer and closer to finishing the handle shaping, I switch out to a 120 grit belt, This will help me avoid making a mistake in the blink of an eye because this cuts a little bit slower and it'll leave a finer finish.
All the corners on the handle are now rounded. I'm liking the shape of the handle very much now. Rounding the corners really gave the handle a little bit more of a slim look and feel. Because before the corners were rounded, it was still a little bit chunky. I was kind of undecided if I got it thin enough fully. But I definitely hit the sweet spot on this.
I think he learned from his dad.
I think this handle
his dad does it as well.
Just about perfect.
I think it's a family thing.
The next component we want to focus our attention on is the front spacer. It's time to shape the sides of the front spacer now that our handle is shaped.
I add some scribe lines to the front spacer based off of the shape of our handle. Then I take the front spacer over
I know y'all probably don't
want
to watch this whole video, so I'll just kind of skip.
Very nice. Thing instead of having this big old chunk of thing hanging on here and it being all rough, this handle is really coming together, by the way.
The pommel has a big chunk of excess material, so I chop it off with the bandsaw before going over to the 2x72 grinder. Then I use my height gauge to scribe a line around the outside of the pommel. Next, I CA glue the pommel to a piece of wood. This will help me hold it as I shape the end of the pommel. Then we go back to the 2x72 grinder and I dome the end of the pommel. This will give it a really pleasing shape. It'll get rid of a little bit of weight, make things not look so square and boxy all at the same time. While the pommel is CA'd to the block, I go ahead and hand sand the end of it.
Here's how our pommel looks after hand sanding it to 320 grit. I've got it assembled with the pommel nut in there so you can see how all that looks together. We are done working on the pommel for now. Right now the profile of the guard is shaped, but we've got a lot of material to remove in this dimension.
Alright.
So I use a 2-inch round.
Wait, what?
Next, I need to shape the ends of our S-guard.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I use a 2-inch round wheel to shape and sculpt the ends. I have some scribe lines to reference as I grind, but I can't completely follow the scribe lines because this piece will actually have a bit of a taper to it. After shaping the ends of the guard, I shoot a little V shell those V.
He's pretty wild at how good he is.
Domed oval shape.
You can go back and watch this whole video
our
if you'd
handle
like
is
to,
shaped. It's now time to add a little sparkle of embellishment. We're gonna add a couple 1/8-inch rounded grooves to the front spacer, and we're gonna add one 1/8-inch rounded groove to the back spacer.
And just like with almost everything I do, I start by adding some good layout lines that I can follow. And once that's done, I begin hand filing in our decorative round grooves on the front spacer. This can be a very time-consuming process, especially when it comes to hand sanding these grooves, but I find it's very worthwhile because it adds a nice, subtle elegance to the entire build. I hope whoever the future owner is will enjoy these little details, as a very easy.
He puts in so many hours.
Hand sanded up to 600 grit and they are ready for heat treatment. We need to harden and temper these fittings just like we did on the blade. I'm gonna fire up a torch. We'll start heating up each one of these pieces and then we'll sprinkle a bunch of this stuff on and continue heating it up from there.
The powder I'm pouring onto the hot pommel nut is anti-scaling compound. This will protect the part from forming scale as I heat it up to 1500 degrees and harden it in oil.
It's like it's a nice orangey color. I'm gonna go ahead and quench it.
Yeah, I didn't know that stuff existed.
And then once it's cooled off all the way, I'll go ahead and just put it in the boiling water. Once we take this out of the boiling water, it's kind of like Christmas because right now it's covered with wrapping paper in the form of that anti-scaling compound. But once we get rid of that wrapping paper, we'll be able to see how it really looks underneath and see if we got any spots that scaled up or anything badly.
Boiling water, huh?
We're gonna pretty much do the same process with each of our larger pieces. So now we've got the front spacer here. Okay, I think we're just about there. And let's quench it.
The shiny black stuff you see all over the front spacer is that anti-scaling compound once it's melted onto the part. It should come off after a couple minutes in some boiling water and we'll be able to see what the parts look like underneath. Next, I move on to hardening our frame pieces. Once again, I heat them up until they're 400 or 500 degrees Fahrenheit.
TC Blades, this is Kyle Royer.
Compound on, heat the part up more until it's 1500 degrees Fahrenheit.
You see his name right there, Kyle Royer, R-O-Y-E-R. He's one of the best makers
and
I've seen
here we
on
go.
YouTube.
Nope, splash oil all over.
He makes some really cool stuff.
Put this into the heat treating oven. Let this heat up until it's 1525 degrees. Make sure it's soaked for a good 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll take it out and quench it.
I decided to heat.
The guard should be.
I want to see everything when it's done.
25 degrees for 2 hours. They've cooled off. They've got this nice kind of straw color from the heat coloring in the tempering oven. Now we can continue to work and process on these pieces. Everything's finished out to 1000 and it is ready for ferric chloride etching. And that's why I'm in my kitchen right now. I'm gonna need running water, and I've got my different containers of ferric chloride here. Got the blade all cleaned off. Now for 5 minutes in our ferric chloride mix. It's been 5 minutes. We can go ahead and take out our blade and finally see how our Damascus is looking. It's been a long time. Whoa, look at that. That looks amazing. I love how the darker explosions in the middle is connected. Wow. These 15 and 20 heavy areas on the outside look really cool. Oh man, I can't wait to see this pattern completely finished out. Here's my tank of baking soda water. I'm gonna go ahead and let the blade neutralize in there. I'll probably leave it in for like a minute or two, and then we can take it out and sand all those oxides off. So next I'm gonna clean the blade off really well, and then we're gonna do about a 5-minute etch in our weak ferric chloride solution. It's been 5 minutes.
I'm gonna go grab my coffee.
We're just gonna rinse it off.
I'll be right back.
I'm not gonna rub it down at all. We're gonna leave that finish alone.
The blade's made from carbon steels, so it can rust or oxidize over time, and the carnauba wax just adds in a nice little bit of protection, and it adds some nice sheen to the Damascus as well. Once I've got the proper amount of carnauba wax added to the blade, I polish everything up with a sunshine cloth.
I finished polishing on the blade with our sunshine cloth, and it looks amazing.
Next up, it's time to add some coffee darken all of our fittings, the same as the blade.
It's been 5 minutes. We can go ahead and take the guard out and see how the pattern looks on it. Whoa, look at that. There's our twist pattern. Oh man, that is awesome. Check out these areas here. Look at this really fiery little twisty explosion thing on the edges. Kind of a firestorm pattern. That looks very good. Let's see how the other side looks in comparison. Does it look even? Oh, it looks very even. I added a little bit of water and a little bit more coffee to the our instant coffee mix here because it evaporated a bit while I was doing the blade. So I just doubled up on the water and added one more cup of instant coffee. I'm gonna get all the fittings in here and let them soak for probably 4 to 8 hours.
Have a good one, bro.
I ended up letting all of our Damascus
fittings
soak in our coffee mixture for about 8 hours.
That's awesome. We'll go look at it in a minute.
15 and 20 is nice and bright. There is, however, a little bit of a yellow tint to it, but I'll polish that off with a sunshine cloth. I also want to add a little bit of carnauba wax to the fittings, just like I did on the blade.
What is sunshine cloth?
Now that our fittings are etched, darkened, and waxed, it's
Shop
almost
towel?
time to epoxy our handle scales and frame assembly together. Before we do that,
Buffing wheel with a buffing rake, add a little bit of fresh buffing compound, and then begin buffing the handle scales. I finish out the handle scales with a little Renaissance wax and some hand polishing.
now that our handle scales are polished, I want to go ahead and epoxy the handle scales and the frame pieces together.
The epoxy I'm using.
Epoxying these in place. Push those pins into place. Getting epoxy everywhere.
As I epoxy the handle scales and frame, I try to make sure not too much epoxy gets inside the handle assembly. I don't want the tang of the blade to be permanently epoxied in the handle.
Okay, after an hour or two, I'll probably take the handle out, or take the tang out, make sure that the epoxy, the little bit of remaining epoxy in there isn't sticking to the tang, and then maybe reassemble it and let this cure for a good number of hours, probably 10 or 12 hours, considering that the epoxy advertises that it's our
Argentium silver wire. I anneal the wire to get it nice and soft, and then I hammer the wire straight because it's pretty crooked. Next, I mask off the entire handle so I don't scratch or bang into it as I'm adding in our domed pins. The pins are a little bit large, so I run over them with the Scotch-Brite wheel just to reduce the size, and then begin doming the Argentium silver pins into the handle. Once all 4 pins are added into the handle, I use the buffer
silver
to shape and clean up the heads of the pin and make them look like a nice little domed button sticking up above the surface of the handle, just a little bit.
I finished cleaning out all the buffing compound that was stuck around the pins, got the entire handle all cleaned up. Everything is looking really nice. Our handle assembly is now completely finished. Before we assemble the knife, there's one more thing we need to do. We need to get this thing sharpened up.
I consider this buoy to be a piece of functional art, so if it's not sharp, then the function part won't be there at all.
I ran the edge across the leather belt about 3 times on each side. Let's see how sharp it is now. Should be nice and hair popping sharp. Let's start back here by the base of the blade. Very sharp. I can't even feel it pulling on the hair at all. Now I'm gonna cut like right here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The blade is piping sharp. I've got all the tape cleaned off. It is finally time to assemble our takedown Bowie knife. We'll go ahead and pop the guard on, assemble the front spacer to the handle assembly here. We've got our nice convenient handle assembly that's all pinned together. Little tiny mark on the top, little center punch hole to make sure I put it on the right direction. We can go ahead and add our lineup pins to the pommel as well. Go ahead and assemble our pommel to our handle assembly. Now we can assemble our handle, front spacer, and pommel to the blade. I normally like to kind of pop these in place with my my hand on the final assembly here. Leave it a little out and pop. Make sure to not cut yourself. This thing is razor sharp. Next up is our pommel nut. And then I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this up with the drill bit that fits in there. And here it is. The takedown Bowie knife is completely finished. It's razor hair popping sharp. We've got our beautiful frame handle. That's a lot of extra work for a frame handle, especially a Damascus frame, but it looks so cool. The pattern matches up with the blade very well. Look at this thing. This is a beast of a Bowie knife. I've made lots of knives that are longer than this, but I've made very few knives that were this wide with big proportions like this. We've got our blade that's like 5/16 of an inch thick, big beefy proportions everywhere. Big proportion handle. We've got our big old S guard, nice size pommel nut. This thing really feels amazing. Feels powerful to hold this knife. It's so big and thick and heavy. It just kind of has the feeling that you want to just go out and chop down a tree with it or something. This Bowie is awesome. I think the Damascus pattern came out really cool too. I love how we've got this kind of darker area in the middle, these dark explosions, and I love that they're connected. Each little center segment connects all the way through the blade instead of it being kind of cut off. That came out really cool. Definitely something I want to play around with more in the future. The Damascus on this, it's so dark, so contrasty, and so shiny at the same time. My overall favorite thing about this Bowie is just the massive size and proportions of everything. The 11-inch blade that's like super tall and 5/16 thick. I love that, and I love the overall proportions of the blade and handle. Another one of my favorite things is how the Damascus pattern came out on the blade. It's just so cool having those center sections that are all connected through the middle and the extra bright 15
if y'all haven't ever seen him, I hope now I've introduced you to him.
Pattern. And then my third thing that I'm probably really happy about is
I'm sure most of you have
Damascus fittings with our black handle. I think it looks so good. Kind of a really nice, dark, elegant look with the black and the dark fittings and stuff.
Yeah, that's dope how you put those down the side.
So much. Have patience with yourself. Allow yourself to make mistakes. It's not about the mistakes you make, but those things.
Anyway,
I've been making knives for years, and I still have things that go wrong sometimes, but I normally have enough persistence to make it through.
So he makes expensive knives, but he spends 2 months on them. So he turned $2 hot steel into a $15,000 knife. Yeah, he sells some pretty crazy stuff. If you haven't checked out his channel, you should. He makes all kinds of nice knives. And he also does some cool things with like turning razor blades, 9-cent razor blades into a $3,000 knife. This little knife he turned razor blades into is pretty wild. Check it out. Just a quick view of that knife that he turned. He turned razor blades into that knife. That's a cool little cutter. Anyway, go check him out if you haven't. I'm sure most of you have, but that was a good little break to let me get some coffee. I appreciate y'all bearing with me through that. Sorry about the AMSR at the beginning there, but didn't last too long. Looks like we had somebody post something into Discord. Aha! Fred the Lug posted some knives for sale. Let's go check those out. Thank you, Mr. Fred. So, looks like we got a Jonas Iglesias Fuse, an Arcform Saber, the Concept Ekis, the Kubi Thalia, a Kubi Momentum, a Mantis Gearhead, which again reminds me of that gear. There's a theme here today. Something Obscene Nimley Cleaver, a Spyderco Sage 5, and a Civivi Sokok. It's probably a native word. Kind of looks Native American, indigenous, whatever. Let's see, and Spy My 2. I like that Spy My 2. I'm tempted myself. Oh, we got that, and yeah. So go check those out if you're interested. Prices include shipping. Trade offers are welcomed. So hit him up if you're interested. Let's see. We got some more links maybe that I had. Let's see. No, that's about it for the links so far. Let's see, what else did I want to talk about today? Oh, drummer said he bought what was that? A Vostede Chipmunk. Let's go look at that thing. Vostede Me Monk. A Me Monk. I can't. Vostede Chipmunk. Chipmunk. Liner lock. 2.64 14C 28N blade. I'm wondering why you bought that knife. Could it be as a size comparison to see what your knife feels like? I'm just joking, drummer. But that is very similar to the size of yours, I believe. What's the overall length of this thing, maybe? I believe you said yours was 6.7, so it's a little shorter than the one you designed, but pretty close. It's a cool knife. Which version did you get, drummer? Did you get the natural jade so you can dye it whatever color you want? That's what I would have done. It's the only one with the silver blade too. White blade. I don't know why they call them white, but I guess white, black, whatever. Oh yeah, I wanted to show y'all a few knives that I added to my cart on AliExpress. Last night. Some ones that I'm going to buy. And I ordered I got an Amazon knife coming. I got a wild hair and wanted to order some budget knives again from Amazon. Well, I got one of them that should be arriving. Oh, it's arriving today. It is I think it's basically a copy of a knife that I have a titanium version of. Oh, you got the black wash blade in dark green. Pete, are you saying you swapped the clip on the same knife? On the Chipmunk? You got the green one? What knife did you swap the clip on, Pete? Oh, got the porcupine. I'm sorry, I didn't see that line. You were talking about the porcupine. Let's look at the porcupine while we're here. Porcupine. Well, you got to put an O on. Porcupine. Oh yeah, that's a super cool little knife too. Yeah, as much as I talk about loving Vosteed, I need to buy a few more. I really need to get a Martin, but I'm waiting on a titanium version. But I like this color scheme that they're using. I know it's kind of weird, but I like that, that copper color handle. I mean blade. They have a White Mountain Knives exclusive of the mini psyop that came in that same version. It's a it's a White Mountain Knives exclusive. I don't see it on here. Yeah, right here. So it's not the mini psyop, it's the full size psyop, but they make that same pattern for a White Mountain Knives exclusive of the psyop. I love that color pattern. And I love the psyop, and I love Vosteeds, so I don't know why I haven't bought more Vosteeds. I should get... Yeah, I like everything about that knife. I like the blade window. I like the fact it's a top liner lock button. So yeah, the budget knife that I got from Amazon is this one right here. Like I said, I believe it's an exact copy of a titanium knife that I have by the same company. And it is the company XTOUC. And it is this little knife here with a D2 blade and G10. I've got the titanium version of this knife. And I like it. And I wanted to get this one. So I got one. And it kind of reminded me of Sever 7's knives this week. A good little $36 D2 knife. I like the blade shape and the jimping on the back. So yeah, grab that one. Let's see. Pete just posted a picture of his knife in the Discord. Pokey Stabby. Yes, sir. It is Pokey Stabby. There's Pete's today. But yeah, let me show y'all what I added. Some knives that I decided I wanted to get. Hopefully it'll let me sign in. See, I hate that. Oh my God. Oh, okay. It's working. Maybe. What else did you post? Did somebody else post something? Oh yeah, TC Blade said he did a thing earlier. I forgot to mention that. I'm not sure if he bought one, but maybe he did. A hardness tester. That would be an awesome thing to have. As y'all know, I've been looking for one on eBay, and I actually found one about the same time as he was, or I found one a couple of days ago that I added to my watch list. And it is a brand new one that I might buy. It's about $900 cheaper than the one he picked, which is fine with me. But there's the one that I added to my eBay watch list. It is 150 kilogram maximum load, which is plenty for knives. And it comes with free shipping, which saves you $250. But yeah, that's the one I found. That's the cheapest one I found that was brand new. So I'm stoked about that one. Let's see. Cart. Where's my cart? All right, right here. So I actually added a few petrified fishes to my cart. And that's another brand that I need to get more of that I don't have. And here is one of them that I picked. The PF 868. I've been wanting one of those. I like the way it looks. I like everything about the way that knife looks. I like the price. I like petrified fish. And I like D2. So that's cool. I added that one to my cart. And then I added... Let's see what else I added. I added another petrified fish. And that is this one. Another $30 petrified fish. They have a bunch of different versions of this one. And I actually picked the... I like how they have the stonewashed and the plain blade. I actually picked the one right there. With the khaki micarta, I guess, and the plain blade, satin blade, instead of stonewashed. They were sold out of a bunch of colors, but they do have a cool little pattern. I almost got that one. I haven't bought it yet. I just added it to the cart, so I can still change my mind. But I like the shape of that knife too. The carbon fiber one, I guess that's carbon fiber because it's a little more expensive. It's like $9 more expensive. But petrified fish seems to be doing their thing lately, and if it's good enough for Asher knives, good enough for me. I also added a few more to my cart that a lot of you won't like, but I wanted to try out Lemifshi's version of the M390 Factor with the milled handles. So I added that one to cart. I really like the milling on those handles, and I've got a couple of versions of the Jufull versions, but I don't have the Lemifshi versions. So I wanted to try one of them. They're popping up everywhere, even on Amazon. The clones are. So, it is what it is. But I added that one because I like the milling. Let me make the screen a little bigger. Well, I should be able to inspect this and get this image to come up. Right here. So you can see it a little better. Super cool milled version. Yes, Scott's liking the Factors at the moment. I think he just ordered one as well. And then, see what else I got. Oh yeah, I wanted to try out, this is one that's been out for a little while. But I don't like the colors either one of them come in. But I'm going to deal with the brown colored one. But it's the Hinderer Full Track. And the backspacer is a tool to disassemble the knife with. But they make two different colors. Let's see. They make a green and a kind of a brownish color one. And I went with the brownish colored one. I'm hoping I can change the color on it, but I wanted to check out the Full Track. The reason I wanted to check out the Full Track is because somebody posted in the Chinese Knife Forum a comparison between the two. Somewhere down here. Yeah, right here. So this guy posted the original versus the clone. And they're pretty close. He did a pretty good job on it. So I'm excited to check that out. The little tool in the back, the backspacer tool, is pretty neat in this knife. But as you can see, the lines on them are pretty good. The blade is better on the original, and the insert, of course, is better. I would much rather have that micarta than whatever. I don't know what material the insert is. I'm hoping I can sand it down on the clone and make it look better. But that's a Full Track. And then let's see. I added one of those Necker knives, like I said, because I'm getting into where I want to check out some little smaller fixed blades. So I added one of these. And who knows how many of these I'll actually buy, but it's in the cart for now. Sever 7 thought thinks he found something I will like. Oh yeah, I love that blade grind. Yeah, that's a nice one too. That's the same company that makes the most expensive knife on AliExpress, I believe. That Infinite. If you type in, yeah, that's super cool. Is it M390? Yep, it is. Might be a little too short, though. Hey, Google, what's 8 centimeters in inches?
8 centimeters is equal to 3.15 inches.
So, about a 3.1 inch blade. It might be okay. Usually anything over 3 inches is okay. The handle looks long enough. I could probably get 4 fingers on it. But if you type into AliExpress folding knife, and then you sort by price, well, why is it not sorting right by price? That's weird. Hold on. Something ain't right. Folding knife. Price. Yeah, that's not working. Weird. It's not sorting. It's not showing the high price ones. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. View profile, comments. Yeah, here it is. No. Ah. Well, I don't see it. So there's a guy posted like a $500. There's a J Infinite or something on. Is it J Infinite? Dang it, why can't I remember the name of that expensive knife? So guy posted one, and I said, at least you didn't buy the $1,300. That's a nice knife too. The Fat Dragon Dead Silence. Super nice knife. It's not a clone. It's a real knife. M390. The DS212. But anyway, the guy posted a. There's that prototype. There's our buddy Patrick posted that one. I like that too. Fresh 17-degree edge on the Kraken Hermit. That's a pretty knife too. I love just scrolling through here and seeing stuff I hadn't seen, but one of the ones I was wanting to find was down here. Let's see. It can't be that far down because I just saw it a couple of days ago. There's not that many posts on here. I commented on it talking about how. Anyway, it's like a $400 AliExpress knife, and that gets up into pretty nice territory. So it's the same brand, and I commented and said, at least you didn't buy this one, blah, blah, blah. And I posted the link to that $1,200 one. It must be pretty close to here. I still don't see it. Sorry for the... It's got to be right through here, because those are all my posts. Oh well. If you haven't joined Reddit, it is an endless supply of knives and new ideas. There's one of those. That's a pretty cool folding kitchen knife. Oh well, we're just scrolling, doom scrolling endlessly, trying to find this stupid knife. There's a Hillberg Lion Blade Works 1 of 10 Damascus bladed Spectres. Yeah, I'm not seeing that knife. Oh, here it is. It's Infinite Injustice. So, that's a super cool knife. Pretty expensive. I can't believe I finally found it. But when you start getting into expensive knives on AliExpress, that's one of them. And so I posted a link. I said something like, yeah, right here, at least you didn't buy one of these. And he said I was seriously close to picking it up. The $1,600 price tag was just a bit too steep, although it was on sale down to like $1,200-ish. But this is I believe it's Infinite Injustice. That's why I thought it was the same brand. So it's Infinite Injustice Wayano. So let's go look at AliExpress for that. All right, so there's the one he got. And then I think... Yeah, here's the one that I posted. So pretty wild looking knives. I don't know, like yeah, pretty crazy looking knives. $1,200 knives. It's 2.54, Ed. Not 25.4. It's 2.54. But yeah, you're right. That is the magic number. I still remember that from high school, 2.54. 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Gonzo Firebird F924. Gonzo Firebird Gonzo F924. Gonzo makes some good knives too. Which version you got? The carbon fiber one? Everybody likes the Warney sheepfoot blade nowadays. Seem to be producing a lot of those. Yeah, Ed, but it is 2.54. How many centimeters in an inch? 2.54. Draw cuts, yeah. That's why everybody likes that. I thought it was just a typo, Ed, but pinch cuts and draw cuts. You gotta have a warning. I wonder if wonder how many people, when they went to get that new Asher knife, got the Warncliffe as opposed to the. Oh, they're still available. Which one is? Yeah, they're both still available. But I almost wish I would have got the Warnie, just because I already had the regular one. But Ed, I thought it was a typo. That's what I said. I wasn't correcting you. I thought you typed the decimal in the wrong place. And it doesn't matter either way. So, Pete, you bought the Warnie? Yeah, I just thought it's not a big deal, Ed. It'll work either way. Just divide by 10 or move it, drop the 0. Not a big deal. I just it'd be harder for me to like multiply it by 2.54 or 25.4 than to ask my Google Nest thing sitting over here beside me. That's the only thing I use her for, besides like what time is it, or what's the temperature. She says very few things, but it's usually about knife. I'm sorry, Ed. I did not mean to hurt your feelings, buddy. I appreciate you giving us that input, and it was right, and it would just make it an extra 0. It would just be a 30-inch blade instead of a 3-inch blade, but it's all good, Ed. I promise. It is not a big deal. I bet we're the only two in here that knew the 2.54 number or the 25.4 number anyway. Because back in our day, we had to memorize stuff like that. Like is it 9.8 meters per second squared? Does anybody know what that is? 9.8 meters per second squared? Is that terminal velocity? No, that's actually that's the rate of stuff that falls when it falls. It falls at 9.8 meters per second squared when you drop something. And I remember that number for some reason also. So the acceleration due to gravity. So every second an object is in free fall, it will cause it to increase velocity at 9.8 meters per second. And acceleration due to gravity, 9.8 meters per second squared. But then things will reach terminal velocity. So after 1 second, the ball will be moving 9.8 meters per second. After 2 seconds, but it's I think it's squared. Yeah, it says squared. Whatever. One of those stupid terms we learned when I was younger. Along with the 2.54. And what is it? 62.5 miles per hour equals 1 kilometer per hour? Or 62.5 kilometers per 100. Wait. Something about 62.5. 100 kilometers per hour to miles per hour. 62.13. I thought it was 62.5. Okay, so that one I didn't get right. Converting kilometers per hour to miles per hour. All right, it's 62.14. I just always remember that 150 kilometers an hour would be about 31 miles an hour. Oh, that's cool, Ed. Splat. I think it's funny the people that talk about, like, if you're in an elevator and it drops, can't you just jump at the bottom and you'll be okay? And they don't realize that you're still moving as fast as the elevator was. Yeah. You're just going to be going about 3 miles per hour slower than you were, but you're still going to splat. Yeah, I know, Ed. These kids nowadays they can't even write cursive, much less convert stuff. Yeah, pretty wild. I still wish this knife would hit artisan. I want one, the Karas. Come on, artisan. Give me one of these knives. I need the Karas. They don't have it yet. All they got is his AES, Ace maybe, and the Centros. And I don't like that one. I need that one. And I need one of these when they come back in stock. Pete, did you get one of these? Who got one of these? Somebody here got one of these. Knives are life. Have a good one, buddy. Have y'all ever seen an example of, like, if you're riding in the back of a truck and the truck is going down the road like at 30 miles an hour and you throw a baseball up in the air and it comes back down and you catch it? If someone was standing to the side, what the trajectory of the baseball would look like. It makes an arc because the baseball is traveling at 30 miles an hour also. So that's something else. Like when you're in a car, everything in it is moving the same speed as the car. So that's why when the car stops, you keep moving at that speed. But something I've always been wondering about is how it's kind of the same philosophy. Yes, Ever7. I can hook you up enough to get you by for your stream for sure. Let's do that right after I get done here in just a couple minutes. I'm almost done anyway. But yeah, let's go over that. Yeah, it makes an arc, a parabola. You're right, Ed. You got me with the parabola word. Sorry. It's not an arc, it's a parabola. But anyway, it looks weird. But one thing I can't ever understand, and it's kind of the same philosophy of the way the atmosphere around the Earth is spinning the same speed as the Earth is. So that's why, like, you can't just, like, hover a helicopter and the Earth spin out from underneath it because all the atmosphere is spinning the same as the Earth. Is the same kind of thing that everything inside a car. Okay, so if the windows are up in a car, hear me out. Somebody explain this to me. If you're driving 50 miles an hour down the road, everything in the car is going 50 also. But if there's a fly inside the car and it is in the back of the car, in order to fly to the front of the car, it seems like to me that fly would have to fly faster than 50 miles an hour. But I guess it has to do with the atmosphere kind of deal inside the car, since there's no wind resistance. But wind resistance shouldn't be everything. It still seems like the fly would have to haul ass flying to fly from the back of the car to the front of the car, because everything in there is traveling at 50 miles an hour. So I've always wondered, that just doesn't make sense in physics to me. But I think it's along the same lines of the atmosphere thing and the planet spinning. Same reason you can't hover a helicopter and the Earth spin out from underneath it. But it is kind of weird to think about that a fly inside a car, if it's sitting on something, it's going the same speed as the car, but once it lifts off, shouldn't it be thrown to the back window? Like almost? I don't know. Weird. But yeah, I think the car atmosphere is going 50 miles an hour too. That's what I think the answer is. I think it's the same thing as with the planet. I think I understand it, but it still just kind of doesn't make sense. And that is Philosophy with Chip on a Saturday. Anyway, guys, I think we're going to end it up here. I'm going to hop on with Sever and try to get him a crash course at OBS enough that he can get his live giveaway video done. And if y'all have not signed up for his giveaway, go do that. Sever, post the link again for him so they can go comment. I could do it probably just as quick in the 30 seconds that it gets, if I can type his name right. So, giveaway announcement. Watch this video to enter right here. So, this link right here before the and symbol. So, click on that video. Haha, beat ya. Just kidding. Click on that video, comment in it, and you will be entered. You have to type his name, Sever7 Rocks. Sever. I better type it right or I won't be entered. Sever7 Rocks. All you got to do is comment his name in the comments and you're entered for the drawing he's doing on Tuesday. So there you go. I've given him my publicity. Hopefully he'll tell Metal Complex to feature me on some Friday just for a short. Just say, if you're awake in the mornings, go join this guy. He's goofy and he talks about knives in the mornings. Anyway, y'all go do that for Sever. Let's see. Other than that, I guess I ain't got too much more to talk about. We're coming up on the 2-hour mark. Go check out those knives for sale in the Discord. TC tried to get MC to give me a shout out. Oh, that's awesome. Be Shady. Appreciate you, buddy. Keep it scale stupid. Yes, sir. Keep it scale stupid. A stainless steel knife. Oh, drummer, no problem, man. I hope to have you on again sometime. we're going to have a big round table with a bunch of people up pretty soon. That'll be fun. Keep it scale stupid. You can heat anodized stainless steel and color it, but not really all the colors that you can get with titanium. Scott, appreciate you being here. See you later. But yeah, you can heat anodized stainless steel, and you can get some colors out of it. Heck, we got time. Let's go look real quick. Just type in heat anodizing stainless steel on YouTube, and it should bring up something. And maybe you can only do carbon steel. I don't know. Let's go figure it out. Ed probably knows. So see right here, stainless steel exhaust. You can heat anodize it. You can get some colors out of it. But how to anodize metal. Heat anodizing coloring stainless steel or titanium. Anodizing steel hardware. Knife Modders is a good channel to go watch. So she's gonna color one of these screws. You just watch the color change and stop it. Drop it in some water to stop it. But yeah, go look it up. You have to use a torch. You can't use electricity like you do with titanium, but you can do it. You can heat anodize stainless steel. So there's your answer. Just make sure, yeah, like Ed said, to drop it in the water so it doesn't keep heating up at whatever color you get it to. So you want it to stop at whatever color. Yeah, Ed, we do need to start doing live chats on the Discord. I totally agree. Good idea. We need to have some voice. We need to all get in there and talk crazy on Saturday nights or something. I'll make sure I get enough sleep on Saturdays, and we'll start doing that every Saturday night or something. Anyway, guys, somebody always throws me a question at the end, and you know we always go another 10 minutes, but it's been fun. Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow morning. Be more to talk about. And in the neighborhood, just like you. Anyways, y'all have a good one. I'm out of here. We will see y'all tomorrow. 7 message me so we can go over OBS.